everybody, it's Allison again, sdlprostretch.com. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Today we're going to be going over foam rolling. I have a video for this, but at the time I made it, my microphone wasn't working, and today I've got a new microphone, and that's why I haven't posted any videos lately, because my microphones kept breaking. We're going to do foam rolling. If you don't have a foam roller, then get one. But yeah, you really need one. You really need a foam roller. I have a high density one. This one's only about 1.5 feet long. You can get 3 feet ones. It's fine. Most of the people I know have foam rollers, and they just don't ever get them out. So this is a great thing to do more often than you are probably. I'm guilty as well. I've been making it an effort to try to foam roll more frequently, and it really, really, really does make a huge difference in the way I feel, and just, it's good for you. It really is. Stretching is one thing, but sometimes you just you really need that pressure to get into some of those adhesions in your muscle that develop over the years. So I'm sitting on my roller, and the first thing I'm going to do is just roll back and forth on my glutes. And then I'm going to get that motion going, and then I'm going to take my knees over to the right and roll up and down on my right glute. Get all the way up near the hip bone, near that posterior iliac crest. That's the top of your hip. It's pretty high up there. You don't have to go all the way up, but just, kind of get close to it. And if you want to increase the stretch, you're going to take your right leg. So I'm on my right hip. Whichever hip you're on, you're going to take that leg and cross it over the other. And then you'll probably start feeling some other muscles in there that you probably didn't even know you had. I'm feeling glute minimus a lot, glute medius, and my piriformis quite a bit. And then we'll switch sides. So we're going to the left. Rolling up and down on that left hip. If you want to get deeper into it, cross the left ankle over the right knee. I know a lot of people try to do it the other way, but it doesn't really do much. So if you get an external rotation of that left leg and you roll back and forth, then you're going to feel a whole lot of other muscles in there. This can be a little painful. So start with a low density foam roller if you've never done this before. But I would say in probably 3 or 4 months' time, you're going to want a high density one. So if you can stand it, try the high density. And you may find one side is tighter than the other. That's very, very common. And then we'll move on. We're doing all the big stuff first. We're going to do the quads next. Quads are usually extremely painful, so I would take it easy as much as you can. You're going to use the rest of your body to kind of alleviate some of the weight off your thigh. You can take both thighs at the same time. You can be on your elbows. That's fine. Roll back and forth. Your quads have a lot of different muscles in them, so you can come at them this way, but there are many different angles that you can go. And then we're going to go lateral quad. So I'm going to move my foam roller out of the way. I'm just going to hop on one thigh. I'm going to roll to the lateral side of my quad. I am using my arms so that I don't have my entire body weight like falling down. And I'm also going to be using this foot and my knee to help stabilize myself. And I'm going to roll up and down on that lateral quad. Joy of joys, your favorite thing. I know. People love and hate this stuff. But I'll tell you what, you start doing it on a regular basis, it's going to be a big game changer for you. For me, it's just, I do this and then I feel like a human being again. All right. You got one quad down. If you find a spot in your quad that is super tight, you can just sit on it until the pain starts to subside a little bit. If you're really into torture, you can do what's called shearing. So I'm on a point in my thigh that's pretty tight, and I'm going to bend my knee and release. So I'm going to just bend and straighten my leg. And that's going to force the muscle fibers to kind of expand and contract while there's pressure on it. Very good for adhesions and trigger points. All right, we'll switch sides. I'm going to turn around so I can still see you. And again, I'm just on my left thigh. I'm going to come down to my elbow this time. My other leg is out to the side. I'm using my foot and maybe even my knee to roll up and down. It's up to you. I'm going to move it down just a little bit. So rolling up and down on that lateral quad. I'm trying to get as high up as I can to the hip bone. A lot of people want to roll their IT band. It's really not effective because the IT band is connective tissue. It doesn't have the same properties as soft tissue. So really doesn't respond to foam rolling very well. But if you are rolling on your IT band, it may feel awful because the IT band is, it's being forced to expand. But the muscles around the IT band will tend to loosen up, and that's why it feels like it's doing something. So I'm on the front of my IT band here with this lateral quad. And the tighter my lateral quad gets, the tighter my IT band feels. So just be mindful, if you have IT band issues, try to hit that lateral quad. And then we're going to move on to some hamstrings. I feel like the hamstrings are really hard to foam roll. You may want to sit in a chair and use like a ball underneath your leg, but you can get to them. I choose to do one at a time just because I feel like that's the only thing that I'm feeling with the foam roller. So I'm going to sit on top of my foam roller and just put one leg out to the side and just roll back and forth. You can turn the leg out. You can turn the leg in. This is one of my favorite things, is to get into the posterior adductor and the medial hamstring by turning the leg in. I'm kind of getting to almost the inner thigh, but it's the back of it. And I'm going to roll up and down. And you'd be surprised at how tight this muscle can get. So that's a nice one to hit if you're trying to hit your hamstrings, the posterior adductor and the medial hamstrings. Yeah, you never even knew you were tight there, right? And then, we'll switch sides. I'm going to turn my leg in again. So you can go out or in. I seem to be tight on the outside and the inside on this leg. Then we're going to do inner thigh. Yes, you can foam roller your inner thigh, and it feels amazing. So, take my foam roller. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to stretch out a little bit on my elbows, and I'm going to take this foam roller and put it right underneath my inner thigh. I'm bending this right knee, and I'm going to roll in as far as I can. Get right in there, and then roll out. Oh, yeah. And then we'll switch sides. And this one, again, I'm right on top of that roller. I'm going to roll in all the way to where the muscles originate, or as close as I can get to that point. Roll in and out. All right. And you can do a number of other things with your foam roller. You can do your calves, but I have to say I prefer. Well, there are a couple things you can do with your foam roller and your calves. I mean, if you lift yourself up, you lift your hips and roll back and forth, you'll get a little bit of sensation. You're not going to get a lot. If you cross one leg over the other, you're going to get more. You also might want to externally rotate your foot and internally rotate your foot to get the two heads of the gastrocnemius all the way up and down. This is a little bit of a workout because I'm having to lift my hips up, but you know, it does work pretty well. You could also go and see my video. There is a self-care for calves and 2 calf stretching videos that are excellent. Well, at least I think they are. Not to be braggy, I did do them myself. And then we'll switch to the other side. Woo, rolling up and down. Outside. I usually don't feel this, but my calves are super tight lately, so I don't think I know anyone that doesn't have tight calves. And here's a little trick that I learned. I'm going to grab this. You need a lacrosse ball. I'm going to take the lacrosse ball. This is for just if you've got a lot of tension in here, little pockets of tension, this is a really nice way to get into. I'm going to set this ball right on top of my foam roller. I'm going to set my calf. I'm going to put this ball right the back of my knee, below it just a bit. And then I'm going to start to roll the foam roller away. And I might want to reposition it so it's more on the outside of the calf. And keep rolling it out and roll it back in. Yeah, your ball might. slip off, but it'll probably be fine. So that's another option if you want to get into some trouble areas of your calf. And another thing that you can do for the peroneal muscles, the side of the calf, is just turn your leg sideways. I'm going to move back just a bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got my knee bent. I'm going to apply a little pressure as I roll back and forth on these peroneal muscles on the side. It's a pretty easy way to get in there if you're tight there a lot. Lots of other things you can do. You can actually foam roller your anterior tib if you wanted to. You can just hop right up, put your hands out front, roll back and forth if you want to. Lots of upper body things, but I'll save that for another video. And I hope, if those of you with foam rollers, I hope that if you haven't been getting them out, that you do get them out, because this stuff is really, really important. And it's just going to make everything you do better. You're going to sleep better and wake up with a lot less aches and pains. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.